We don't expect you to learn this whole entire language and be able to converse with people in this language, but rather learn and memorize the most commonly used yoga poses in Sanskrit so that you're confidently able to use them while you're teaching. We encourage you to be excited about learning these words and wanting to use them in your classes, because maybe people come to a yoga class for their first time and have no idea that yoga is actually from India. Maybe they have no idea that this whole system of an ancient healing modality. For your exam, written and practical, we expect you to know the Sanskrit of these 15 poses. And then we hope that you will become curious in wanting to learn the Sanskrit words of your favorite poses to do or to teach. So when you teach them, you're confident in using the Sanskrit there as well. Now I'm going to go through some words that you may hear often in different asanas, because the word extended is always the same, or the word reclined is always the same. The end of the word is asana, meaning pose, and then some parts of the word will be repetitive, so it's easier to remember. So, arda means half, ado means downward, urdhva means upward, bada means bound, eka means one, pada means foot, sometimes it can refer to leg, hasta is hand, kona is angle, mukha is facing, parivrita is revolved, viparita is reversed or inverted, parsva or parsvo means side, utan, intense, utthita, extended, and supta, reclined. So the benefit of knowing those words, sometimes you'll be able to guess what a Sanskrit word is because you know, for example, let's say you know the word butterfly, it's Baddha Konasana. And let's say you already know that the word reclined is supta. Then you'll be able to say, okay, reclined butterfly is supta Baddha Konasana. If you learn facing dog, for example, you'll be able to more easily know downward facing dog and upward facing dog because they are similar, because facing dog pose is all the same. So downward facing dog is Adho Mukha Svanasana. Upward facing dog is Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Now I'll go over the 15 poses that we encourage you to memorize in Sanskrit. I will name the pose in English first. I will leave a few seconds of silence, and then I will say the pose in Sanskrit. So this way you can replay this video while practicing shouting out to the video the Sanskrit word before I say it. Also, another fun way that you can practice your Sanskrit is to make flashcards. On one side, put the pose name in English, and on the other side, put the pose name in Sanskrit, and ask a friend to quiz you with the cards. So, we will begin. So these are the 15 poses we encourage you to memorize in Sanskrit. Mountain pose, Tadasana, easy pose, which is how I'm sitting cross-legged right now, Sukhasana, intense forward bend or intense forward fold, Uttanasana, the half version of that pose, when you inhale and take a halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana or Ardha Uttanasana. Cobra pose, Bhujangasana, chair pose or fierce pose, Utkatasana, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, child's pose, Balasana, with a B as in Bob, garland pose or yogic squat, Malasana, warrior 1, 2, and 3. The word warrior is the same for all, so you can just say the word and then 1, 2, or 3. The word for warrior is Virabhadrasana or Virabhadrasana, 1, 2, or 3. Exalted warrior, Viparita Virabhadrasana or Viparita Virabhadrasana. So notice, if you don't know how to roll your R's, you don't have to, but if you roll your R's, you can throw that in there. Okay, next pose is triangle pose, Trikonasana or Trikonasana, crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. So I like to remember this word by thinking of the name Johnny, because that's in there, like the sounding of it. It's not spelled that way, but Anjaneyasana. Next pose is half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana or Ardha Chandrasana. And the last pose is corpse pose, Shavasana. So these are the 15 poses we ask you to learn in Sanskrit. Already you know that it ends with asana, so you have half or a third of the point depending on how long the word is. And then hopefully this will create excitement for you to want to learn more poses as you continue your journey teaching and practicing this beautiful system of yoga. Thank you so much, and see you in another lesson.